How far would you go to protect your children? Police say a Dallas mom shot a carjacker trying to drive off with her children. He jumped in her car last night at a Shell station on Camp Wisdom Road, just off I-35 in southeast Oak Cliff. News 8's Damon Fernandez has more on the man who found himself on the wrong side of a mother's love.
Attempted carjacking ended with a crash right across the street back here in southern Dallas. I spoke with that mom who shot the suspect in the face. She says she just wants to put this all behind her right now. You can still see the yellow crime tape stretched along Camp Wisdom Road, and neighbors call it a reminder of the lengths one mom took to protect her two toddlers from this man. Police say Ricky Wright was shot in the face while trying to steal a woman's car with her children inside.
Good thing she was able to get in her car, though. That was the best thing about it.
Deja Harris has no connection to the attempted carjacking that happened outside this Shell gas station on Camp Wisdom near I-35 Wednesday night. But she's also a mother of two toddlers and says a parent's instinct is quick to kick into protective mode.
I would have probably did the same thing because I don't know if he was going to hurt my kids. So my main objective is to get my kids safe.
Investigators say the victim ordered Wright to get out of her car. They say when he didn't, she jumped inside. She grabbed her gun from the glove box and shot Wright in the face. He crashed into a telephone pole a few feet from the gas station. DePaul Smith is another neighbor and father of two.
What would happen if she hadn't did what she had to did? Where would her kids be? Where would she be? How would she be feeling right now? And what really would be going on with them kids?
For now, Wright is in the hospital, and police say he's facing 2 charges of unlawful restraint and unauthorized use of a vehicle. While neighbors say they're glad the mom and her toddlers are okay, Harris says let that woman's actions be a warning to any would-be car thieves.
Don't do it because you never know what type of mother is going to protect their babies, because you see what happened this time.
Damon Fernandez, Channel 8 News.